There are 152 million children aged 5 to 17 who are in child labor in the world. Slightly less than half of the children in child labor, 73 million of them are performing dangerous work that places their health, safety, or moral development at risk. The largest numbers of child laborers are found in the Asia-Pacific regions, but Africa continues to have the highest incidence of child labor. Myanmar is one of the largest but among the poorest countries in Southeast Asia, with over the quarter of its population subsisting below the poverty line. Poverty in Yangon region seems surprisingly high. Poverty stood at 34% in the country's largest city, Yangon, and its surroundings. Yangon is a magnet for rural migrants seeking new employment opportunities, and these opportunities have been slow to develop. Yangon region population is around 7.3 million and 2.4 million populations are living in poverty.
At the start of the video, you can see many young children working as waiters in tea shops in Myanmar. You might be wondering why the children are working instead of being at school, why their parents might be working as well. One of the main reasons for children working at young age in Myanmar is the vicious cycles of multi-generational poverty. When incomes do not match outgoing, many are living in debt and extreme poverty. Parents are unable to support their children to go to school while struggling for everyday survival. For the poorest family in Myanmar, survival also means keeping on food and relying on high-cost loans.
Do you need your kids to work, or do you want them to work?
It's not that I want them to work. Well, yes, I want them to because we aren't doing well. If we were doing well, we wouldn't let them work. Kids shouldn't be far from their parents. They could be corrupted. I let So work only because we're not doing well.
When parents are not well educated, they cannot get proper stable jobs to support their whole family and have to rely on their children to get additional income. When these children are grown up without proper education, they become unqualified for better paid jobs in future. Cultural behavior is another reason of children going out for work. Repayment of parents' gratitude is considered as a filial duty of children in Myanmar culture.
Child labor is about poverty, it's about attitude, culture changes. There are so many actors that are contributing to the problems. In Myanmar, culturally speaking, people have to repay in gratitude to the parents because the parents gave you birth and parents raised you up. So it is an expectation by the parents that the children help out, and it is by the expectation of the children themselves that they have to help out.
That's why we can see that a lot of elder children from poor families are the most vulnerable to child labor. Poor health and illness drag down many poor families into further debt and deeper insecurity. When parents are unable to work due to health issues, parents are forced to work for their family. Children taken out of school early are at risk of early marriage, and research found out that marriage at age 16 and 17 is quite common and can be as early as age 13 and 14. Some people think that letting children work at early age is not a cure issue, saying that these children might end up living abroad or even worse like child trafficking if they are not accepted at tea shops or workplace. Thus, there are many agents or brokers that connect the clients and parents or children to work at tea shops or as a housemaid, and they are acting as a helper or lifesaver for poor families.
There is a misunderstanding. Some people see this as child labor.
The owner of this tea shop insists this is not child labor. For him, it's a service to society.
We don't torture these kids or force them to work. We take them in and give them work so they can support their families. And here they have a place to live and eat. If we didn't take them in, they might end up in a worse place.
And do you have kids?
Yeah.
How many children? One. How old is he or she?
9.
When he becomes 12, if he wants to work and not go to school, is it okay with you?
He's 12, so since he's 12, he needs to keep going to school.
But you have some 12-year-olds working here, so what's the difference?
These kids have to work because their families don't have enough money. My son is luckier than them, so he doesn't need to work yet.
Do you see anything morally wrong with this?
I feel sorry for them because they're so young and don't have skills. I think I'm helping them because the kids are very poor and they want a job, and I'm finding them a job. It's the least I can do.
One with a hidden camera posing as clients. They got right to business, negotiating over the broker's commission for finding a 12-year-old housemaid.
Poverty is a cycle that keeps the family live in fear of the future, where parents have no choice to let their children work in dangerous environment and with poor education, which in turn decreases the chances of escaping poverty.
There is a law on child labor in Myanmar composed of the set of old colony law. In 1951, children under the age of the 13 years old are not allowed in working at the shop and factory. The age group of the 13 to 15 years old, they are working at the wonder is not more than 4 hours. In 2016, there is a changes in the Factory Act, and then its short and established act are amended, and then the minimum employment age is raised to 14 years. The age group of the 14 to 16 years old are not allowed to work in at the hazardous work condition, and then it's not in overtime. Hazardous work condition is composed of the working at the dangerous, high, and the underground and underwater. Working is the dangerous equipment through machinery there. Working condition is an unhealthy environment and working for long hours. In our country, the children are joined to the labor market at the earlier age. The main reason is an inadequate number of decent jobs are required the literacy skill, and then a poor employment rate are disincentive for the attending school.
Many NGOs are taking impact into providing education to poor children. My project is one of the NGO projects that is unique non-formal education and outreach program that provides school and assistance to children who had been compelled into servitude by bringing the classroom to them directly where they work and live. With funding from Telenor Myanmar, Telenor Group, Samsung and others, the My Teacher program provides education to teacher children and their communities via mobile and teacher classroom. While these children have an opportunity to learn business literacy, math, digital literacy, personal hygiene, English and interpersonal skills in a safe environment. This enables them to gain self-confidence and deliver critical thinking skills through innovative, interactive, student-centered instruction with the long-term ambition of upskilling children in vocational skills for more gainful employment. In 2018, My has already expanded to serve more than 3,000 students annually from various tea shops, roadside restaurants, monastery schools, and underprivileged communities with over 60 staff and 5 mobile classroom buses.
On the other hand, the monastic educations are also helping children to study who cannot afford to get government education. There are nearly 1,200 monastic schools providing primary and secondary education to more than 100,000 Myanmar students every year. Supplementing the government elementary school, they provide underprivileged children all the basic education needs exactly government elementary school by using the same curriculum. Generally, the Burma monastic school accept children from needy families who will live nearby and unable to attend government school. Many of the orphans who attend monastic schools in Yangon and Mandalay are from remote areas and have been sent by their senior monks from their village and small towns. Yet, the monastic schools are required to cooperate closely with Township Education Authority to be officially recognized. The operation and finance rely heavily on donation and collaboration from the public.
I think Myanmar law enforcement is weak and government is not taking serious action on child labor. To help achieve SDG goals of no poverty and quality education, government needs very strict actions, regular checking, impose fine and penalty.
My suggestion is business also should take responsibility for child labor because they are indirectly involved without even knowing the risk of child labor, especially for MNC business. They should follow the guideline from Organization of ORDC and UN, guiding principle on business on human rights to take part on eliminating child labor.
MNC business should also promote eliminating child labor and educating community about the risks of child labor with CSR activities and CSC activities like identifying, preventing, preparing human rights violations in the entire child supply chain and actively reported on this.
Other than government and corporation, I also highlight is to meet with this goal, civil society organizations have an important role in Myanmar. International NGOs should take part in volunteer work, supporting teaching technique and genius support donors from the rest of the world and fundraising activity. They create out of school children, target age is 13 to 18 years in non-formal education, vocationally training at agriculture, handicraft, and information communication and technology.
I agree. Moreover, from civilian side, we should make police complaints against the shop if we see any child under 14 walking any places. One civilian should take responsible and contribute for donation to one poor family every month, so at least one child in their family can go to school. If we all do together by helping one child in one family and give a chance for them to study, I think Myanmar will be free of child labor within one generation.
With the support from all parties,
Myanmar transformation journey
of the right balance between economics,
social development and environmental protection
and sustainability are coming in near future.
Let's make the world a better